I'm visiting this morning with Sarah Walker. Sarah, you are the Director for Friends of the Bridger-Teton, so thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me. We're really excited about WyoGives.
So we are here to talk about WyoGives, which is going to be an incredible day for the state of Wyoming because it's the first time we've ever embarked on an online 24-hour day of giving taking place July 15th. I know here in Cheyenne, when I've talked to the nonprofits who are registered, they are super excited about WyoGives. How are you all feeling there?
Exactly the same. For years, we've seen Colorado Gives Day, Idaho Gives Day, and just thought this would be a fantastic opportunity to support nonprofits in Wyoming.
So let's talk a little bit about your organization. I, for one, am not familiar with it. So this would be a good opportunity for you to tell us a little bit about your organization, what it does, and how you serve your community.
Sure. So you might not know of us because we're a brand new nonprofit. We got our 501c3 last year. Friends of the Bridger-Teton is a nonprofit partner to the Bridger-Teton National Forest in western Wyoming. We're one of the first nonprofits to try and support a whole national forest. You might know that our national parks have foundations and associations, and it just kind of made sense that a national forest that takes up half of western Wyoming might need some friends too. So that was kind of the impetus behind the Friends group, and we started with some support from the Bridger-Teton National Forest, and our aim is to just improve community connections across the Bridger-Teton National Forest and enhance recreational opportunities and protect the forest resource. And so if you're not familiar with the Bridger-Teton National Forest, it pretty much makes up the whole southern half of the greater Yellowstone ecosystem. So from Moran all the way down to Kemmer, it includes the Wyoming Range, the Wind River Range, the Gros-Ventre areas, everything right outside Grand Teton National Park. So it's a pretty important landscape for all of the wildlife that we value in Wyoming, and also for about a dozen rural communities in Wyoming, the Bridger-Teton National Forest is their backyard and kind of defines their quality of life. So the hope is that we can just improve some of those community connections and garner a little more stewardship support for our public lands.
So we've had so many nonprofits jump on this bandwagon for WyoGives. Why did your organization, Sarah, decide to participate in WyoGives?
Well, we saw that it was your first year doing it, and we also know that nonprofits are the backbone for a lot of rural communities in Wyoming. And especially this year, there's going to be some challenges that nonprofits are facing. And we really appreciate everything that the Wyoming Nonprofit Network does, and looking at what Idaho Gives does and what Colorado Gives does. I think having a dedicated day where people can come together and open their checkbooks and see what organizations are doing good work in that community, I think that's going to be really valuable for the whole state.
So let's talk a little bit about this. It's not how we wanted things to turn this year, but with the COVID-19 crisis, now more than ever, nonprofits need dollars. So what would you like to say to your donors or potential new donors on why they should give to your organization July 15th through WyoGives?
Yeah, I think I'd just say it's a hard time to ask folks for money, especially when we know that small businesses are having a hard time. We know that business owners are having a hard time. We know that the nonprofits on the front line of the COVID crisis are really important, but it's also important to know that nonprofits employ a lot of folks in Wyoming and are having a hard time making their usual fundraising asks. And so I think this is going to be a great opportunity to support communities across the state.
Well, Sarah, I appreciate you joining me this morning. We wish you the best of luck on July 15th, and let's make this an annual event for the state of Wyoming.
That sounds great. Thanks for all the work you're doing.